Hello, weirdos and weirdettes. It's me, Haunted. It has been a while. Today we're going to be finishing up, hopefully, Dead Man Walking, Mr. Bar- Parker Barrows. Yep, that dude. Who I continually forget his name. We're going to be working on him today. Like I said, hopefully finishing him up if this cat will leave me alone. Um, how's everybody doing? How was your Labor Day weekend? Hopefully everybody is caught up on napping and full to the brim of barbecue ribs and or other meat substitutes. I had a good one. No, it's good kitty. He is a pain in the booty today, guys. I'm telling you. Radio Santi. I don't think I've seen that name in here before. Obviously, you have been here, but I don't think I've seen it. Welcome in. We will try and put up with the cat. But anyways, so I got my eyeballs on. Last week we got the reds done. We got the leather of his pants done, and everything else. And his face is pretty well done because there's not much to it, and everything else is pretty much just kind of blocked in. So we're gonna go continue on with that. I think we'll start with his sleeves, and then we'll move on to the glovage. Glovage. Yeah. So we had, I believe we used Dark Reaper there. Going to use a little bit of that with some black for some shading. Oh, they are first time chatter. Okay, well, thank you very much. Welcome in as first time chatter. That's right. I wasn't even thinking about it. I wouldn't see the first time chat tag because I'm not the mod of the channel. You picked the right day to skip work. Yes, you did. How are you doing, Warlander? Good to see you. Good to see you. It is a pretty cool kit under construction. I mean, he's got a kind of static pose, but I like it. I mean, it's kind of like that stoic, you know, against all odds kind of thing. You know, he's got this. He's facing 40 or more people, standing there with his two guns ready to go. I like it. Nice little standoff. Wandered in. M3 might be picking up in my local area and might bust out monks and King Gong. Nice. I just finished painting King Gong not too long ago, like the entire keyword. I will never ever paint that one again, but yeah, I just finished painting it not too long ago. Pro makes up for the stoicism. Yeah. we'll get to her. I don't know if I'll finish him up early enough to work on her. I didn't get her assembled and primed before stream. It's been a week, folks. My youngest horse has not been doing well. Her legs, hooves are just continuing to give her problems. So yeah, it's been busy, non-miniaturing kind of week, unfortunately. So yeah, let's get on these sleeves here. I want a little bit more blue than that. But if we do finish him and before stream, I have Crazy Maxine on deck, Maxine 2, so we can work on her. It won't be Pearl, but it'd be a cool model. I already got her main tentacle based down, so we could work on that and or other parts of her. I'm just coming in here and dropping some recess shadows in here in these sleeves, give them a little bit of depth. But that's exciting that M3 is picking up in your area. I've been trying to get it going in mine as well, as it is a very, very uphill battle versus the big name Warhammer. Like everybody loves that, and of course they had to drop a Horus Heresy right about the time I started, demoing Malifaux. So of course everybody's looking at new stuff. So it has been a very big uphill battle. But I've got a few people interested, about 8 or 9 people that are interested. The store owners finally gotten direct order set up, so now they don't have to worry about getting product in if they do want it. Because one of the guys has been literally waiting for 3 months for the other Lady J boxes. They're extremely loyal there. They are like passionately loyal to their game store owner, Chris, which I admire. Ooh, wow, we are really out of focus. But they only want to order from him. And unfortunately, up until recently, he's only been with Alliance, and Alliance has been very hit or miss on product. So now he's got direct order set up with Weird, so he can get the product directly to the door, and so that is going to make people buy more and potentially get into the game more, which is great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I think MCP is more competing with Malifaux. Yeah, it's definitely the main competitor in the skirmish market, I think. But as far as like overall market, of course, the big one's always going to be the hard one to beat. But like I said, it's picked up a good bit, and like I said, I think the aesthetic, at least the two most liked, seems to be Guild and Bayou up here, which is kind of a little on the nose. But like I said, once we have people able to buy models when they're interested in it and get them in a couple of days, I think it's going to start picking up. So I got to get myself ready for demoing the crap out of the game again. Well, see, I did that with Malifaux. I started out with Pandora and Dreamer, and next thing you know, I basically have about 58 to 60% of the line now. I have keywords from every faction, multiples of every faction. I don't know. It's well, you gotta think I live in extreme Northeast Georgia, so it's silly hillbillies and lawmen. That's why I said it's just a little too on the nose. Aside from the Nightmare collections and one-offs, because I wanted to paint them, I've kept a key. Nice. My bow is done. I did not get pictures of him. Well, I say he's done. He's not based yet. But he's finished up and assembled and ready for the base. One second, and I'll show him. Hopefully the camera pick him up. He's a very bright green. He might overcome the darkness. Darkness, my only friend. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Mm-hmm. All right. This is a bow right here. And like I said, I have him a little 3D printed pier that he'll be on. And we'll be doing a resin pour on the base. Got his little catfish in the creel. And it's hard to tell, but I've actually drawn a map up in here. There's a compass in the corner. There's mountains, rivers, lakes, hills, and swampland all depicted on the map. Yeah, they are pretty. Yeah, I don't even think about the goggles. The goggles are pretty well hidden too. Jeez, that is disappointing. But hey, at least the lure's there, right? But yeah, that's my bow. I really should have taken a picture of him without the map on him, and then a good quality picture of the map itself. But oops, and we're back blurry again. I don't know if that's on my end. Yeah, I mean, I do have a picture of the map without the gremlin. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. It's just not like a super good picture. Here you go. There you guys can see. So there's a little compass in the north and the mountains and some swampland and a river and hills and more swamp. So yeah, I did paint the thing up very well. Just can't see it. No problem. I live but to serve. Okay, get a little bit more of that shadow in here. You see we're real thin on this side. I don't know. Well, hopefully you see. This is probably going to be one of the darkest models I've ever painted. Like seriously, I'm a very bright painter most of the time. Like Bo, you saw he's like this electric green, and this guy is very very dark, very dark. It's very unusual for me. So I like to move it with the colors. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Yeah. So this is a little bit of that Dark Reaper mixed with some Fenrisian Gray. Yes, Fenrisian Gray. We're just coming in here and cutting in highlights with that. And if we really want to get bright, we can just use Fenrisian by itself. But it was almost too much when I did it on the other side. That's why we toned it back down. Clearly, he needs glitter in his fire brightening. You know, I don't see fire anywhere on this dude. Like, I'm looking in the scope, I don't see it. And it's clearly depicted on the model packaging. So, I don't know. If I had really put a lot of thought into it prior, I might would have sculpted some fire, some little wicks of flame on a sleeve or something. But I didn't do that ahead of time, and I don't want to do it now that he's painted or mostly painted. Hey, Tiger, how are you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, yep, always good to see that. Even if on my end it's just virtually, right? Well, at some point, I hope to get back down that way and toward gigabytes to get some gaming in. But it's gas prices have just got to come down a little bit. They've come down a good bit. They're almost back down where it's like I don't mind so much. But you know, when it was $4 a gallon, I was just like, nope, no, I'm not driving down there unless Atlanta's on fire and I got to go help people. That's to be the only reason I go down there. $4 a gallon. All right, so we got them sleeves pretty well knocked out. Let's work a wee little bit on that vest there. Probably going to use the same colors as well for the highlights on the black and all, because that dark reaper works really well against black. I like it. It's not the navy blue highlights that I used to do on black, which they worked, but they looked weird. This was the dark reaper at least looks semi-natural when you do them on black. Okay. I like some natural. All right, hate to do it, guys, but the bug eyes are coming out because I am just really having a hard time seeing that little bit of detail. So, bug eyes are back. Amazing what a difference these glasses make and what you can see. I mean, they look funny, sure, yeah, but they do a good job. Best, I think I spent $25 on these, maybe 27. I probably got ripped, but it is money well spent. I feel like I'm gonna break that little gun off. I keep hitting it. So, how about that Rings of Power series? Anybody watching that? You haven't caught up on that one yet? Oh, okay. All right. Well, if anybody else has, try and keep it spoiler free, but what do you think? I think they did a really good job on casting the actress for Galadriel. I mean, she looks like she could be uh, the original. What was her? Kate Blanchett. Looks like it just about could be her. Certain angles, not like every angle, but she definitely can favor her when the camera hits just right. Okay. All right, there's the vest done. So now I think we'll work on them gloves. No, that was cool. Buddies from Danger Planet put out a little notice. Appreciate it, guys. All right, let's see here. We're gonna try a little bit of this. I say we're gonna try. We're gonna use a little bit of this, if I can ever find it, my brown wash. Really? Sorry, guys. Apparently have lost that one. Well, let's try this then. I think this is fairly dark. British brown should work. This is Gilliman Flesh contrast. So let's see if that'll work here on our gloves. Yeah. I didn't notice it when I started this guy. There is a little dimple in that hand that should have been fixed before I primed and started painting, but unfortunately did not see it. So it just had to be a dimple in his hand. Maybe he got shot in the hand. I don't know. So anyways, just working around on these gloves here a little bit. We'll come in and cut some more details here in a minute. As this little bit gets done, got to get some recess shading there first. Have something to build up to. I'm trying to remember what color I used on this. It's been so long since I touched the model. I think it was that scale. Judging by how matte it is definitely a scale 75 paint. I think it was that Dubai Brown. Yeah, I think that's it. Wasn't sure at first, but yeah, looking at it together, I think that's it. Okay. Get that closed up. All the way closed. Good. You have to be careful with them potted paints. They don't close so well. I'll eventually get around to decanting them. At least that's what I tell myself I'll do. I probably won't, but I tell myself I'm going to do it. Anything you guys tell yourselves that you won't do, but you do anyways? Kind of like, I won't buy another model until I've painted all other models. How many of us have said that one? Yeah. I was smart enough never to make that promise, but I know a lot of people have, and they fail miserably, and that's okay. That's one of those I don't mind if people fail on. Top of this finger here. Radio Santi. I started trying to finish painting more minis than I buy. Help lessen the backlog. Very nice, very nice. Yeah. I God. It's gonna take me a very, very long time to finish up my backlog, like I said, because I've got so many weird miniatures. And I mean I have tons and tons and tons and tons of that other company's miniatures as well that I bought way back in the day before I steered away from the game. And lessen, not eliminate. Yes, that is a key distinction. I like that. And not a saint. I love it. None of us are, man. None of us are. I appreciate you being able to admit that. That's hard to do. But anyways, yeah, I've got a ton, and unfortunately, I do commissions, which means most of the time when I'm free to paint on miniatures, I'm not working on my own miniatures. I'm working on somebody else's, which is, well, annoying. So I'm going to have 5 more keywords, I think, 6 possibly. I've got to finish up Cadmus, Apex, Syndicate, and then Ancestor, Monk, and Wastrel, whatever that one is. Yeah, those are all I'm going to do commission wise. And once those are done, I'm done. Commission books closed forever. Or at least until I finish up my stuff or some of my stuff, a good majority of my stuff. The only exception being if somebody hits me with a really cool model for my list of want to paint models. Oh, oh no. There's commission on the horizon. I think I need just a wee bit more yellow in that. It's just not showing. checking my email. I don't see nothing. Okay, maybe a little bit more yellow now. This is more along the lines I wanted it. I mean, I do have a yellow ochre I could have probably used for this. I just wanted those little straps to show up a bit better. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so now we're working with that Dubai brown and a little bit of Japanese uniform. This is giving me my highlight colors here. Gives that kind of nice yellow leather look. Like those is it rawhide gloves? I can't think of what that, but those little yellowy leather gloves that you get at the hardware store. I go through so many of those because, like, when they get wet, for any reason, either be it sweat, be it wet vegetables, whatever, when they get wet, that leather gets really stiff and hard and brittle, and it's like I don't want to wear them anymore. So I throw them in the garbage and get another pair. Super duper wasteful, but I have a thing about feelings and textures. So okay, I think that'll work. And we'll go on to the next one. We feel like we need a little more highlight, we can always come straight up to Japanese uniform. But I think this will be okay. Cat, could you do your sneezing, snorting, snuffling somewhere else, please? That'd be great. He's like, no, you can do it right here because the way of the cat demands it. This is the way. Yeah, that went where I didn't want it. That was just a little water and got kind of out of control. We'll have to fix that up a bit. might try a little bit of brown wash there in between those fingers. The Gilliman's kind of not strong enough, so let's get a little bit of Rhine oxide. I'm gonna thin it down a lot, and we'll paint this between those fingers. Yeah, I think that works a little better. Never be afraid to dilute a paint to use as your wash. When I first started out, that was something I did. I used my paints as washes. Didn't have money for washes, so at the time. So I started using paint and I went so far as to take water and a little drop of dish soap to help break the surface tension. Um, and it made decent little washes, and you had your full range of colors, which was nice. So we're just painting up these knuckles here a little bit, bringing some highlights there. That is the longest finger I've ever seen. All the way around that thing. And on the other side, that's the longest pinky in the world. All right, so get some of these wrinkles cut in here. Maybe a few on this other side. We'll cut the color of the glove in, or the wrist of the glove, whatever you want to call it. Cuff of the glove. There you go. Everybody's so quiet. Quiet. We're hunting rabbits. Okay. Do we want to? You know what? We did not do the little seams on his pants. So let's get that in real quick. Going to use basically the same mixture we use on the other. So it's going to really pop against that brown. I want this to be like a rawhide strips. Okay, got those. Get this side over here. This side is kind of hidden in a lot of wrinkles, so we'll kind of eyeball it. I'm just going to paint the rope. What color do we want to paint that rope? Come up with something that's going to stand out a bit. Cover his pants and eyeballs? What? What? Hey, McBluff, how are you doing? Appreciate you stopping in. Let's go ahead and do his boots too. While I got my Dark Reaper mix going, let's go ahead and do those real quick. They won't take much. There's a little bit of Dark Reaper mixed with some black. Hey, Korok. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you taking the time out of work to pop in for a few. And this is just pure Dark Reaper here. Oh, this is about eyeballing his pants. I see. The delay between me saying it and reading it is what threw that one off. Yeah, sorry. You had to say the most surreal thing. Yeah. I understand indeed. Okay, now this is not quite Fenrisian gray. This is Fenrisian gray and a little Dark Reaper mixed. I found the Fenrisian is just too big a shock. Like it's too bright to pull. I might put it like at the very tip of that boot, but otherwise it's just too bright to go on a black object unless you're wanting it to be like, patent leather or something. I might have been very, very, very much overestimating my ability to get this thing done today. I am in like slow motion, guys. You have no idea. I'm just so tired with the horse struggles on top of everyday stuff. So I'm not with it. Okay, boots done. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. That's let's do this color for the rope, I think. This is it's actually a relatively new color set for me. This is a Nocturna set from Vallejo. It's a fantasy skin color kit, and they really come with some great colors. And this one is kind of a taupe khaki / slightly green tint. It's called Forest Skin, so there's obviously some green in it somewhere. But I think we'll work on that for the rope. I use the other colors for my lovely little Berserker husk. I used they had a ice. I can't remember the name of the colors. Purple Shadow and something else. So I used those for these guys, and I think that they came out really well. Very creepy. And I think that will be a great color for the rope. Yes, yes, yes. Boy, getting in there in that little crevice is not going to be easy. Look at there. I did it without getting it on the pants. I'm amazed. Whew. 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 That was not easy. So one of the things I've been doing, trying to get in an effort to get Malifaux going at my game store, is I've got terrain. I've got all the Plascraft buildings for the original city square, town square, whatever, with the tall building and the city house and the cemetery and all that. I've got those and all the walkways. I've got doubles and triples of the walkway pieces and the sewers and stuff like that. So I've got plenty of that. But what I've been lacking has been scatter and hazardous terrain or concealing terrain. So one of the things I've been struggling with has been 3D printing. My printer has just not cooperated. Finally, after much work, I started getting prints working. Basically has not worked since May. And then there was a period of about 2 months where last 2 months, I just haven't done anything with it because I've been so fed up with it. Anyways, finally got it fixed, got everything working, successful prints everywhere. And so I'm doing a lot of scatter terrain now. I've got wrought iron fences for cemeteries. I've got hazardous or wacky, crazy man-eating plants for hazardous terrain and stuff like that. So it's been getting a whole bunch of scatter terrain built up for like here's a carnivorous plants. So got some basis with these on them. And I've got, twisted trees and stuff like that. And I've got some sewer pipes that I'll have cotton ball clouds coming out of for concealing. Hey, Dragon Legion, how are you doing? Welcome in. So that's going to be basically this week's project, is getting all that scatter terrain ready for the weekend. So I can get back up there and start doing the Malifaux thing again. They have some Malifaux or terrain that would work for Malifaux, but most of it is very sci-fi gothic and or Star Wars style, and neither of those really fit Malifaux very well. So it's up to me. I got to do it. Oh, what was wrong with the printer? It was a combination of things, but what I ended up finally doing was replace the FEP, getting some PTFE lube for the FEP, which is basically 3-in-1 oil with PTFE additives. And then the other part, which was the part that was really eluding me because everything else seemed to be kind of where it should have been. And I tried adjusting lift speeds and lift heights and all that stuff, and just nothing was working. The final piece of the puzzle was actually resurfacing my build plate. I have one of those flexible build plates that makes getting the prints off a little easier, right? You just flex it, twist it, it pops on via magnet, and your prints pop off of it a lot easier. Well, it was fine. I printed on my other printer just fine. Never had a lick of trouble out of it. But for some reason on the 4K, it just would not stick, or only stuck intermittently. So in combination with the sticky FEP, it basically meant 0 prints were working. So once I took care of the sticky FEP situation, I was still having some build errors, but mostly was areas that the bottom layers were not bonding to the build plate. And that was when I realized, okay, let's try this resurfacing thing, see if that works. And that did it. It fixed. I have had 100% prints since doing that. It's like 13 different print sessions, multiple objects in each one. Not a failure since. So it's wonderful. It's like such a relief off my mind because I have been just racking my brain trying to figure out what is wrong with that stupid thing. It's basically never printed. I got it in May and I've never been able to get a print off of it. But my little 2K printed like a champ until the screen went out. I almost took the 4K screen out and stuck it in the 2K one just to see if that would have fixed it, fix my problems. Since the 2K did so well before the screen went out. Yeah, the LCD screens, unfortunately, they do go out. They don't go out as often, but they do. I can't say that. The 2K screen, it maybe had 100 hours on it, maybe, and it died, which is extremely low durability. It should have lasted much better, and it did not. Where's my little mixy dish? This will have to do. No, I mean they brag about 2,000 hours or whatever. I've not seen one last 2,000 hours ever. But the good thing about the 2K one is it was relatively inexpensive. It's $50 to replace or whatever. But the 4K ones, they're like, I think they're $189 to replace. So they're a bit pricier. You don't want your 4K screen to go out anytime soon. Oh, there we go. A momentary lapse there. I don't know if that was my internet or their internet or some magic in between. I'll take a little bit of that Gilliman wash we use elsewhere. We've got some contrast media mixed in with it. I'll rub this into the rope here. Give us some definition on it. Some shading, not without being too overly over the top. Bet on the FTM. That's just true. That's great. Yeah. I wish I had a filament printer. I really do. There are some projects I'd like to make that just are not suitable for resin, either via size or durability purposes. Although I just got some ABS-like resin, so maybe the durability won't be an issue now. But still, the size is not really conducive to a resin printer. Okay, so we'll let that dry, and we may come back in and drop a few highlights on it. But otherwise, it's probably pretty close to being done there for that rope. Okay, so probably the next biggest chunk of real estate we need to attack is either this gun or his cape, his cloak. Let's work on the gun because it's all gray and that's bothering me. Cat, do not bite my foot. I'm really sorry, guys. He has been a pill today. We'll start with some Rhinox hide here. Now, there is a little ridge here on the back of this wood. We could probably paint this non-metallic metal of some sort, either silver or gold. And so this is Parker. We're probably going to go a little extra and do it silver or gold. It could be wood too, but we're going to do a little extra. Yeah, he opened two of my toes up on his way out, so blood has been shed. I mean, how dare I move that cat out from underneath my desk in my room in my house? Just how dare I? Okay, so we're going to start. We're starting with Rhinox hide on the wood here. Okay. Gotta get this side. Dadgummit. This is one of those times I wish I had done some sub assemblies here. I mean, I did a little bit. Like I left his hat and his other gun off, so I kind of did sub assemblies, but not really. But this arm would have been a good one to leave off too. It's difficult to do on my alpha miniatures, and I'm trying to train myself away from it because a lot of their miniatures require test fitting multiple times in multiple directions to get exact fits, and you can wreck a paint job doing that. So it's better to be able to paint it while it's assembled fully. Okay, got that down there. Get us some dark gray real quick here. Where's my dark gray at? There we go. We don't have to get it all the way around because this is basically just the bottom shadow here. So we just want it on the bottom edge of that rifling. Maybe cover up that red there. Oh, I missed a little red in there, didn't I? I sure did. Goodness, how did that happen? We shall have to fix that. And the bad thing is, I can't even blame it on the gray because it's not an area I painted gray. Okay. Get a little shadow in here around the trigger. And the lever. I don't want to go black, so we're just going to do the dark gray here. Black would work though, so this is solid here. Okay. Let's get my got a little bit of English uniform. We'll mix this with a little bit of Rhinox hide. Pull down from this here. There, I have me on PC now. I look at more Space Marine models. Burning that hobby candle at both ends, I see. Actually, I think I know I did that from the 3/4, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this color all over. I'm going to separate it from that Rhinox hide. Okay, now this will be the English uniform by itself. And we'll do what we did with the other, pull it from about 3/4 down. Okay, we're going to take some English uniform and a little bit of a Japanese uniform. Get those mixed up here. And maybe just a little bit more. A little more Japanese uniform. I actually probably need to restock on this. I'm getting very low. English uniform, and this is a really hard color to find. English, Japanese uniform, black and white seem to be really hard to find in Vallejo most of the time. At least while these shortages are kind of going around. Yeah, I think that brush is done for now. There we go. Now we're getting a little bit of the blend there. I don't think we're going to go that full super bright shiny. I think that'd just be a little much. So we're going to go straight to Japanese uniform now. Okay. Had to come back in with a little bit of reinforcement here at the bottom. Go. I think once we edge that, that will be good to go. Okay. A little brighter here on top. Get a bit of an ice yellow up here. Blend it a wee bit. All by itself there. Right there. Think that's got that. Let's work on that stock a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. Hit my microphone. All right. This is a little Rhinox hide and some June Bull Brown mixed. Probably should be doing this other rifle too while I'm doing this, but I don't want to be switching back and forth. So we're just going to do them one at a time. Okay. Nice, nice. I mean, if you've got a printer, I've got a supplier, I guess, an artist that makes STLs, and their lavas are really nice. If you want to spend a couple bucks and buy their file, then you can make as many as you want. I mean, since you have a printer anyways, right? Look up Zababka. They did a Kickstarter recently. Well, they've done 2 Kickstarters. The first one I was a little hesitant because I wasn't sure whether it was going to succeed, you know, how good their stuff would be, and it was also a little pricey. It was like $75, I think, but it was a lot of files, and I got it, and I was really happy with it. I've used the crap out of it. Well, so when they started their second Kickstarter, I didn't even look. I just threw my money at it, said here. But they make really, really good stuff. Very, very a lot of themes, desert and gothic and graveyard and lava and sci-fi, and they have just tons and tons and tons of stuff. So definitely give them a look. All right, here the stock is done now. I'm trying to decide if I want to do the trigger guard and lever, if I'm going to do them like this, or if I'm going to do them silver. I think I'm going to do them silver. Here, I'm just going to type it. Probably be easier. They do some really great stuff that works perfectly with Malifaux. So that's why I'm very big on them. Okay. Let me correct that little bit of red that was missed in there. That was looks like brick red or black red. I mean, I always call it brick red. It kind of looks like brick red. Here, if I don't do it now, I will forget about it. So we'll get in there. Really quite surprised I missed that. Oh, and up underneath here too. What was I smoking that day, guys? How did I miss this stuff? Wow. Bad on me. That's a lot of missed locations. Okay. Get that smooth back out just a wee bit here. Okay. I think that red's where I want it. I may come back and touch up just a little bit in here, but I think we're good there. And we got the areas covered that need it to be covered. Almost. Okay. I think this will do. Okay. Wow. All right. So let's do the rest of the rifling. Going to get us a little bit of our Dark Reaper as usual. Paint everything in from about the 50% away around mark. We'll have to come back in there and paint that recess though. Yeah. I saw the dragon head. The first thing I thought of was crate dragon, Star Wars stuff. A little thicker than I wanted it to be. A little stouter. We'll make it work. Sorry. Get back in frame here. What I'm hoping to do with this, with that blue that we're working here, is actually give it a little bit of a chrome look. Not fully chrome, but we're going to try and work it up to semi-chrome. Okay. I hear some rumbles, folks. We might be getting a little thunderstorm here soon. If that is the case, when we drop off, we will be back shortly. Generally, power outages do not last long here. It's funny, it used to be hours and hours and potentially days when we lost it, but my uncle was a bigwig in Georgia Power, like was the district supervisor for 30 years, 40 years, something like that. And he retired and moved right down the street from me on the same grid. So when the power goes out, he makes calls and starts pulling strings, and stuff gets put back on quick. So, yeah, it's kind of beneficial there. Although, didn't help when we had what was it, Irma that came through, Hurricane Irma that came through and kicked Georgia's butt, because Georgia Power had sent all of his people to Florida to help them, so we had no one here to help us, and we were without power for 11 days. Thunderstorm. That's your new favorite way. I used to love sitting out on the porch and listening, watching thunderstorms. It used to be one of my favorite things. It was actually the only thing that my dad and I ever shared. Like, I'd never been super close, but that was one thing that we enjoyed doing, was sitting on the garage or whatever and watching thunderstorms roll in. Just something very therapeutic about it. All right, so we're going to get some of our Finn, Reezy, and Greg back out. And we'll do a little bit of mixy with some of the Dark Reaper. Yes, most definitely in thunderstorm. I hear him now. It is definitely coming in. Like I said, if we do drop, it'll be a very quick temporary, hopefully. All right. Okay, getting that there. Now we're going to run down the barrel with this. Won't be able to go all the way. Okay, come back in with just a little bit of that Dark Reaper and kind of clean this section up some. All right. We'll get some of the Fenris and Craig by itself. Getting a bit of a shiny look there. This is what we're after. Hey, Defective Dice, how are you doing? Welcome in. We have a little paintball at the end of that brush there. Let's get that off. There we go. Doing all right. We are painting up Parker Barrows. Parker. We're just not going to say his name anymore because we apparently just cannot do that on stream for some reason. Like a mental block or something. Get a little bit of pale blue here. Almost white, but not quite white. Whoa! Wow, that blew out, didn't it? Screen went very bright. Well, that's interesting. Don't really continue around on the backside, but we're just going to draw them in anyways. We're going to try to draw them in later anyways. That's not what I want. Okay, I'm just going to correct the little wobble I had right there. Let's try and do a little bit of a horizon line on this one as well. Definitely have to fix that one up. Okay, now I think we're all right there. Okay, there is that rifle done up. Has anyone had Parker 2 on the table yet? I'm not heard. I have not. I think Llama said they played him, but I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe it was against him. I'm not sure. Okay. So gun is done, gloves are done, sleeves are done. Let's come back in here and touch up this rope a wee bit. Yes, you did. You have neither played nor seen him yet. Okay. Okay. I don't know why I thought you had. And while I have Parker 1 and Crew Painted, I have never tabled them. So I couldn't comment on how he differs either. More like Parker Lonely Man Walking. Oh, poor Parker. I guess one of us is going to have to play him now. I hadn't either, unfortunately. Not that I would be any great commentary on how good or bad he is. I am not a good player yet. Still more a painter than a player. But I'm trying. I'm trying to get better. Okay, I think. Ooh, wow, we forgot that little spot there. That little spot right up there. How did we forget all these little crevices, folks? Okay, so let's start working on his overcoat or his I guess duster. Wait, maybe I did have him on the table once, but it was like a game where neither of us knew what we were doing, and I had a war rabbit in my corner deployment zone turn 1, so I didn't really feel it's a fair game. Wow. Wow. All righty. See you shortly. It felt like stealing your line and saying, good luck, have fun. Okay. Hit this area just a wee little bit here. I'm going to be getting mud is very much under everything. There might be a little reflected light there. This will be as bright as it gets, I think. But I do want to show a little bit of highlight down here. Reflected highlight. I think I'm just going to paint this whole bit. Rhinox here. It's pretty flat. Okay, and we'll get this lower flap here. And maybe just a little bit of reflected light here. And this is brown and black mixture here that I'm putting. This was the original color down there, was that brown and black. So I'm just kind of using a wash of the same to kind of bring them together so we don't have streakiness or as much streakiness. On those big panels, we'll see if I need to do another coat or two to kind of blend these guys in. Now, I know these colors are really, really dark. I'm sorry about that. Not a lot I can do about that, unfortunately. Like I said, I wanted him to wear almost a brown black, not quite a brown, but not quite a black trench or overcoat or whatever. So it does not show up super duper well. Like I said, this is probably one of the least bright models I've ever painted. I'm usually a very bright painter, and this is pushing grimdark. Oh, looky there, we got it all over my red. We're careless. Good thing is, since it was a wash, they would just take that right off. How about that? Yeah. Yeah. All good. But yeah, I'm usually a very, very bright painter. Anybody can attest. Lots of purples, lots of neon greens, fuchsias, and stuff like that. So I'm usually a very bright painter. But this guy, he, Old West, and he's not out for fashion shows and stuff. So I'm assuming very dark drab colors. Can confirm what? That I was bright painter? Yeah. Or that he's pushing grimdark. One of the two. Need to get some pigments on the boots and stuff to get them all dusty looking. Some rust and paint chips on the gun. Yeah, they don't be grimdark. So we can see that the wash kind of did its job. It did kind of blend those colors together, but what happened was there's a little bit of a tide markage going on here. And the reason for that is I used tap water. This was not filtered water used, it was tap water. And that can definitely lead to problems, especially when you have very overprocessed water at home. See that big line up there? It's just ruined because of tap water. One of the things I say typically is make sure you're using distilled water anytime you're doing blends, because you can get some very unexpected and unwanted results using tap water, like mainly those little rings. Bad enough you're trying to get a smooth blend, but then you got to deal with little rings once it dries. Yeah, not something you want. Get that a second dry, see if that'll get it taken care of. If it doesn't, then we may. I do have some filtered water, so we can use that. Hopefully, we can kind of cover up the mistake I made with that mix. Okay, sorry about that. Let's take a look here. And it's still got a bit of a ring up here on top. See that one right there? Let's get some new towels and a new mixture, and maybe we can get this fixed. Parker, are you okay? Are you okay, Parker? Damn. I think he's all right. Nothing appears broken. I don't see any chips. I think he's okay. Dadgummit. Okay, so let's try that mix again. That's a little bit of black and a little bit of Rhinox, thinned with filtered water instead. Right there in that cup. Have it contained then. Yeah. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Put just a smidge more uh, the brown in it. You know, it happens a lot. It happens quite frequently on this little production. So most of the time, it's a okay. Nothing bad happens because, well, one, I use model cement to put things together. So when they're put together, they're put together. So if something breaks, it's usually a very tiny part or something. But I don't think I've actually broken anything on stream. Could be wrong. I don't think. So. Yeah. All right. So now this is watery Rhinox we're bringing back in over the watery Rhinox in black, and hopefully this is going to eliminate those streaky streaks. Get that a bit to dry. That brush needs a good cleaning, but it works great for washes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're getting somewhere now, finally. So to let that be a lesson to you folks, be careful of tap water. It can ruin your day when you're doing blends. It's not apparent in most colors, but brown and black specifically, for some reason, well, any dark color, uh, blues, dark purples, black, brown, any of those darker colors, any of your darker values, it's going to show a watermark in a heartbeat. So don't add extra minerals, i.e., use filtered or distilled. Distilled's better. Distilled has like no minerals in it. So it's as close to pure as you can get. Okay. That's what you want to use. But if you don't have that available, filtered will most of the time work. Um, but yeah, definitely avoid the old tap water. Ye old tap water is bad. All right. Let's see here. Definitely a different color than what we have on his original cape. So his original cape was this kind of yellowy, like worn leather look. So, ye old tap water. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of Rhinox, and we're going to mix it with some ye old Rhinox hides about out. That's okay. I have a replacement pot ready to go. We're going to mix it with a little bit of English uniform. Get some more tap water here. I'm going to start bringing this color in. Like I said, this is English uniform and Rhinox hide. Give it a slight bit of wear. We don't want to really wear it up. I want to give it a little bit of wear. Okay. Get that color variation brought in here now. I still want it really dark, like almost black. But we had to get some highlights in here, right? Because otherwise it just looks like black or dark brown. Probably need to do this collar too, yeah? Probably be helpful. a little bit more paint there than water this time, because I almost want to actually color it instead of just tinting it like I was before. I'm actually laying this color down now. Reinforce it here a little bit. Go back and pull that Rhinox hide a wee bit right in here, kind of blend those in a bit. It was looking a little stark, seen there. Okay, just about where I'm wanting it. Again, it still looks very dark, but I promise once the photos hit it, I think you'll see it's a lot less dark than it looks on camera, or video camera anyways. I think I might pull just a wee bit up here because this is definitely catching light from above. And maybe just a little right there. Again, same reason. Okay, looks pretty good. Gonna get a detail brush in here and do some details. I mean, some of those folds and wrinkles and stuff. Hopefully without landing on the blue. I just mixed a wee little bit more English uniform in what was on the palette, so we can get some highlights up here on the shoulders because they're going to be a little bit brighter. Okay. Catch this edge here. I mean, this dude with this collar, he is compensating for something. I've never seen a collar pop so high before, not even in the 80s. Got a few more wrinkles down here to catch. And then back around here. I honestly don't know if these are actually going to be visible once the gun's in place. We'll just go on the assumption that they are. It's not the smoothest blend up here, but I think it'd be okay. So we're just going to go ahead and do our edging. Okay. Get that edging cut in real quick. Come edge on this side because reasons. Okay. Let's see here. What else do we need? Oops, I'm off camera. Sorry about that. What else do we need to sell this as Parker? We'll probably need to go ahead and do his hat. That's probably what we need to do next is his hat. And then we can worry about these little doodads later. Let's do that. like literally no reason to do his face because it is absolutely 100% covered by the hat. It dips down so low you really couldn't see it regardless. I'm happy with how he's turning out, though. I think this is a decent little bottle. I like them. Does that one go this way? I think it goes this way. Yeah. All right. So let's get on that hat. Now, see, I've already done the underside of it, the same base coat as I did his jacket. That black and Rhinox mix. Had some dust on it, though. That's how long it's been since I've streamed here, folks. So let's get some Rhinox in. Now, I'm assuming we're going to paint them ribbons red. Since we've already done red on his bandana. That's the word. That is a word we are using. You just here enjoying some food. Oh man, don't mention food. I'm hungry. I'm hungry, man. I'm hoping to meet up with a friend for some ramen next weekend. Yes, food. Umaido is the place to go. Not potatoes. Ramen. Ramen. And some of those little steamed pork puns. Oh. Nom, 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 nom. Not taters. There's really no reason not to have both. Taters and ramen? I mean, I guess. That'd be a hard sell fusion wise for me. Oh, something about potatoes still, not the pork buns. Oh man, the the pork that they put in those little steamed pork bones is so good. It's really it's very sweet. I don't know if that's just a natural thing for pork buns or their particular recipe. It's real sweet, but it's so good. It's got a savory side to it too, you know, and it just it hits all them little buttons. And it's relatively cheap. I think it's 4.25 or 3.75 for two nice sized pork buns. Yeah. Well, you know, I ended up with leftovers too, Llama, when I went. But what I did was this particular place, um, you can order extra noodles if your ramen noodles run out before your broth does. You can order extra noodles and then take it home, which is exactly what I did. And I had basically 2.5 meals for, I don't know, well, I hesitate to say $18 because I had all the appetizers and stuff like that, but the bowl of ramen itself was $18. Yeah, I always get the extra noodles. And they offer they have regular ramen, and they have I think they have a spinach or kale ramen, and then they have a spicy ramen, and they're like orange red, and they're made with gochujang. So good. So since I was already having a spicy new ramen bowl, anyways, I made sure I got those. Hat, could you stay on his head, please? Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, spicy ramen. I'm getting really hungry just talking about it, guys. I gotta quit. It's about that time of the day, guys. Try to give it kind of a speckled, kind of beaten look. This hat. But yeah, if you ever happen to be in the Swanee area, folks, check out a place called Umaido's. Um, this is the ramen place I'm talking about. Really, kind of looks like a small. Actually, looks like a very traditional ramen place, And that is like a very narrow opening. You have the front booth where the guy makes the ramen that you can see from the outside. You walk in, it's a very narrow hallway. There's like 8 seats on the right that are seated right in front of the chef in the kitchen area. And then there's a narrow opening, and they used to keep a curtain there. So you felt like you were in an actual Japanese ramen street bar. But now they've taken the curtain down, and it opens up into uh, a big dining room with large, well spaced out booths, so it can seat a lot more people in there now, which is kind of nice. Because here in the U.S., we ain't got no time to sit there and wait for ramen. We can't be lined up around a building waiting for the ramen for the next person to empty out so that we can go get our ramen. And then right next door to it is Super H Mart, which is a really nice Korean supermarket. So if you're in that area, definitely check those two out. I recommend going to the restaurant first, because if you go to Super H Mart first, then you're going to be buying hungry, and you'll spend $1,000 in there. Now in pressure mode, my stealth office archery. Okay, so I think the hat's pretty well covered. Now we just got to do his pretty yellow ribbons, or red ribbons, I mean. You're 28 minutes away from it. Definitely give it a try, man. Like I said, I drive an hour and a half, so it's worth it. What color am I looking for? Yeah, we're looking for Mephiston. That's it. We already got some. There used to be a place down where Buford Highway meets 75, where the Ford plant is. There's that little access road that runs up beside it, beside 75. And there was was it a Circuit City, or can't remember, some form, maybe it was a Fry's, some sort of electronic store that I think is now defunct. And in the parking lot to the left of it was a tiny little strip, like a strip mall. And there was a little Japanese ramen place there. Looked like nothing from the outside, but on the inside was monstrous again. And they had huge windows where you could see into the guys cooking the broth for the ramen and everything. It was cool. And they had good sushi too. But I cannot remember the name of it. And everybody I've asked about it has no idea what I'm talking about. But I ate there. I know it was there, but that was pre-COVID, and I don't know if they survived COVID or not. Be a shame if they didn't, but it was kind of an out of the way place. So after COVID, it's very possible they didn't quite make it. Kid Tardis restaurant. Well, no, I mean, you could tell it was big on the inside, but I mean, it was just, it had like a narrow frontage, like you'd expect. But it opened up on the sides and in the back, quite large. But wasn't advertised very well. It's just like I just happened to stumble across it because I took a wrong turn on Buford Highway and ended up on that access road and turned around in that parking lot, and I was like, I see Kanchi. What is this place? And I went in and it was ramen, and I was like, oh my God. So I found it entirely by accident. Oh, that little bit is the hat. Whoopsie doopie. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. We almost hooped that up. So are you Marietta way, Dragon? Or are you like Midtown Atlanta? Figure you're either up on the west side or you're central Atlanta if you're 23 minutes away from Swanee. And you don't have to say if privacy is an issue. Mm-hmm. I swear by my pretty floral bonnet, I will end you. That's what we should have done. We should have put a floral bonnet on him. I was watching a little Firefly today, so and they had to come up. Dead north central, so like between between Marietta and Duluth. So I'm trying to think, up 400 way. Oh my goodness! Wow, you have been so quiet, and all of a sudden just came on strong like that. He doesn't yet. Okay. Let's start working up this red here. A little bit. Wow. Bright. Only bright thing we got on here. It was off of Buford at 285 and 285, where Buford Highway crosses 285 north or west. Look for the old Ford plant. That'll probably get you closer. Cat. 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 Meow. Meow. You guys hear what I have to go through? What I have to deal with on a daily basis? Mouth McMoutherson. I tell you, sometimes he comes out of the blue with those meows so loud, like it literally makes me drag the paintbrush across the model in ways it ain't supposed to go. Like a needle on a record player being dragged across. That's what it's like sometimes. Maybe if he had a little better singing voice, it wouldn't be so bad. But he doesn't. The books are heck we're fun getting today. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a cat cafe instead of a bookstore. Now, do I need to put you on camera? Will that shut you up? Come on, come on, let's go. Come on. Oh no, you don't want to do that. I need to come here. There he is, folks. This is the little noisemaker. Quit wiggling. Like, no camera. I'm afraid of people. Yeah, a little. He's a big kitty cat. All right, go. I know you're comfortable, but go. Mouthful of fur. Okay, where was I? That is actually his second preferred sleeping spot. His first preferred is just draped from this shoulder all the way across my body. That's what he normally does. And I'll be sitting on my chair, just minding my own business, trying to get some work done, the computer, and he will jump up and he'll lay on me and basically just pins me to the chair and paralyzes me. I'm just there until he's done with me. Because when he gets his weight down on you and forces you into that chair, you're just kind of done. So I take the opportunity to take a little nap while he's getting his demanded attention. Oh man, guys, I don't think we're going to make it. I don't think we're going to finish them. I thought we were going to do it, but I'm just not up to my usual speedy self today. So I apologize for the slowness. Just not going to be able to get it done. I was hoping we would. We're going to get him. I mean, he's going to be mostly done. Like literally, the only thing we'll need done will be his second gun and the bandoliers. So I mean, he's not like way off being done. He's just like a little off. So I feel I don't feel horrible that we didn't get more done. I feel like we got at least a goodly chunk of him, most of him done. I fully expected we'd be finished with him and starting another model before stream was out, but that did not happen. But that's all right. We are here to paint and entertain, preferably both. What I really need to do is invest in another camera and have the cat cam up here instead of a palette cam. Just have the cat cam. You wouldn't mind giving me another UI window for the cat, would you? Would you, Kim? You'd be all right with that, wouldn't you? You can make that happen. I am so sorry. I don't know what's causing that. Did you hear what I said about the second cam or third cam? I'm kind of joking, but at the same time, I'm not. I was just saying. So I'm thinking about getting another camera and making asking if you'll set me up instead of a palette cam, a cat cam, since he likes to spend so much time on my streams. I didn't. I figured you would be down with that idea. Didn't think it would take much convincing. Welcome back, Korak. What do you mean, Dragon Legion? Okay. About done with this bandana. Bandana sounds a little bit like banana. 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 Work has you doing some local leadership class thing through the Chamber of Commerce. Feels like they signed me up for a social club. Oh, they want you to talk about your hobbies? That's cool. I mean, I would stress how critical thinking and planning and strategizing is for Malifaux. It's not like that other video or that other tabletop game where you just roll dice and roll your face on the keyboard kind of thing. Oh, you said if any. Okay, I got you. I got you now. I got you. I understand what you're saying. I get what you're putting down. Okay. Okay. Slip in here, get a little highlight right there on that jacket. A little more than I wanted. We can fix that though. Here we go. Okay. Well, other than those bandoliers in that gun, second gun, he is rocking. Okay. I don't think I will finish these in 8 minutes though. So we're just going to have to call him basically done at this point. He will we'll get some photos taken with him in the next day or two. More leather. Didn't see the leather wrap on the gun too. Goodness gracious, so much leather. So much leather. I have a little cork doodad for 40 minis, and it has just effed right off. Where did it go? Ah, there it is. Just took me a second longer. Of course, it has cat hair on it. Thanks. Also, this is not good, and I'm kind of also glad I don't have a license yet because I have a bloody hobby shop 8 minutes away from my house. Yeah, well, you might have to exercise some restraint, I guess. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of Cadmus turns out. You're doing great on them so far. Thank you. Appreciate it. I did show off. I showed off Bo. I have not gotten pictures taken of him yet. Showed him off earlier. The bad thing is you literally cannot see. I guess you can see a little bit of the map work when you look at it this way. You can see some of the map design, but you cannot see his glasses, his goggles. You can't see them worth a dang. I'm so disappointed. All that time I spent on the lenses, and it's like, can't see it. Doesn't exist. Can't see it this fuzzy. I'm sorry, my freaking camera is not playing nice tonight, guys. The map is there for the painter judges. That is correct, because there's always going to be one with a flashlight and a magnifying glass looking up underneath things that don't need to be painted and saying, why isn't this painted? So yes, I do that kind of stuff. I paint things that don't need to be, just so I don't have to put up with them. Yeah. I wish I'd taken a little better picture of it before gluing it on, and pictures of his goggles and stuff before I glued it on. That way, we'd have some record of what it looked like prior to assembly. But, it's one of those things. Exactly. Because no one looks at a model from his butt up. It's just not the way it works. So quit doing it, judgy folks. I mean, I know with like some of the painting competitions like Golden Demon and stuff, they look at it as it is shown in the cabinet. I don't even think they can move it when they're doing judging. I think they look at it as it sits in the cabinet with the lighting provided. Um, so in those cases, they wouldn't be able to see those spots to critique it. He is, Mama. One of these days, we Dragon, we need to get Pub to meet up with us at one of those restaurants, the ramen place or a dim sum bar or something like that. Since you know him too. Didn't get to move him around. That sounds almost too reasonable. Well, I think the idea is that to help prevent breakages, mishandling, fumbling, that sort of thing. I think I could be 100% wrong, but I think that's the way it's run. Okay, guys, I am basically done at this point. We're at 2 minutes till 6. So we got a good bit of work done. I'm pretty happy with him. I would have loved it if we could have finished those bandoleros and finished him up today. But we got him pretty well done, other than those and his rifle. I'll finish this up tonight, and we'll get some photos out in the next day or two. Thank you, Warlander. Appreciate it. Play Weird will probably drop my social link here in a moment. That it'll be a Willow link. It'll have access to all my social medias there. That's it right there. Just click on that link. It has access to my Facebook and my Instagram and my Twitch, because I do stream on Twitch as well for myself. So just like, click, subscribe, all that good stuff, because all those things are free. Doesn't cost a thing. Be a lot cooler if you did it. Oh, if you aren't already. So that's cool. Want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. We got some work done on Parker. Next week, I'm not sure, or not next week, the third Wednesday of this month, I am not sure what I will be working on, whether we'll be going back to train or something else, but we will let you know ahead of time. So I think that's all for now. Till then, see you guys later. Have a great day, and hobby on. Stay weird.